Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Tales of the Jedi is a really good shorts. Yes, not show, shorts. But I'm probably going to say show, because I like this. Now, for my other rankings, it's more about the content of the various shows and movies, but this is different, where it's more the concept rather than the content. Because even if these episodes were bad, I still would have ranked this somewhat high. And I'm gonna explain where I rank this, at the end of the video, as always. But the concept of this shorts is really good. And these episodes are in chronological order. I did not expect that. I thought these were gonna be 3 episodes with Dooku, then 3 episodes with Ahsoka. But no, it's chronological order. And you still get 3 episodes of Dooku in a row, but the first episode was Baby Ahsoka. That's kind of least favorite. Because nothing really in that episode is really important, necessarily. It's just her people and the origin story, I guess, of how she was born. Star Wars canonized giving birth. Who knew? But anyway, that was my least favorite. But once episode 2 begins, that's where I really start liking these shorts. And I really hope they do a season 2. The highlights for me are the 4th and 5th episode. And those 2 episodes are really good in the short time span that they have. Because these episodes are, you could say, they're like in between 10 to 14 minutes, maybe even more than that, because the credits, I remember hearing the credits was like 30 seconds. They were not. They were like 3 minutes. But yeah, these things are shorter than an average episode, but they pack a lot, and people were mad about the time being so short, but it really does not matter. Everything is so concise. The 4th episode involves Count Dooku and Yaddle, and it's just finally seeing what happened to Yaddle is one of those things where you're a Star Wars fan and you get closure on something that you've been speculating on for decades, and seeing how Yaddle died is just incredible. So just, I thought she died by, if you've seen it, which I'm going to assume you have, by the door. The door I saw killed her, and I'm like, oh my god, that's brutal. But then she force lifts the door open, and then it didn't matter. Count Dooku just sliced her up, and that's like, god damn, that was great. Yaddle being voiced by Bryce Dallas Howard. You know her from the Jurassic World series, that trilogy, her. It's weird hearing her voice coming from her, but I'd rather had the Lego Skywalker Saga voice from that game here, but whatever, it's fine. She did a great job voicing Yaddle. I was surprised, but the 5th episode then was the Clone Wars episode with Ahsoka and Anakin. That episode, threw me for a ride, because it shows you the entirety of the Clone Wars, or in a brief time, through Ahsoka training with Anakin, the hard training, and that really showed, that episode, episode 5, is really good, and it really is monumental to the entirety of Ahsoka's story and how she survived for all these decades afterwards. That's really a great explanation. I do like 5 of the episodes. No, like I said, the first episode isn't that bad. It's just not that important, and I was kind of bored watching it, but I do understand the importance of it. Some people are going to like it. I don't particularly enjoy it, but you should watch it just as a setting, because if you can just watch through that, then you're good to go. Because the rest of the show is great. You shouldn't find any connection between Count Dooku's story and Ahsoka's story. I think what this show is, or the shorts, what these shorts are, and for the rest, if they're going to do multiple seasons of this, the shorts aren't going to be connected to one another, like the stories. Even within with the same character, all 3 stories with Ahsoka don't really follow anything, except for the last 2. With Count Dooku's story, it doesn't really follow a connective tissue. But that's fine, because it's supposed to be the different points in life for these Jedi. And that's such a great concept. They don't have to make sense. They're just little fillers in the grand overall story. If you've seen the films, or if you've seen the shows, or seen both, it really is rewarding. Dave Filoni knocked out of the park again. I really hope, because I'm going to assume these shorts are going to get a lot of attraction. There have been no advertisement on this whatsoever, like one or two trailers on this, and that's it. I guess I could talk about some nitpicks. Yoda is in this, but he doesn't really talk. It's only because the voice actor is probably retired, and they probably couldn't get enough money to pay Frank Oz to really voice him in these. He is in the show, like Yoda is in this, but like he doesn't speak, which is kind of weird. But it's whatever. It's not a big deal. All these episodes are good. Even though, like I say, I don't like the first episode, they're all worth watching, because there's something of value. There's foreshadowing. What Dave Filoni does well with the prequel era stuff is that there's a lot of foreshadowing to future events. And with these shorts, there is. Particularly with Count Dooku's story, with the second and third episode, there is foreshadowing, and we get to the young Qui-Gon Jinn. Also, Liam Neeson reprises his role as older Qui-Gon Jinn. We get to see the events of the Phantom Menace play out a little bit. That's crazy. Like, these shorts really fill in these minor gaps that just applaud any fan for watching and caring about some of the minor characters, because any minor character now could be just have their shorts, just 3 shorts talking about them, showing their lives. Like, there's so many options you can choose from, even from characters that weren't from the prequel trilogy, like with Luke Skywalker, Ben Solo, you know, Kanan Jarrus. Like, there's so many options that you can choose from, that this series is just, why didn't you think of this beforehand? That's such a great idea, and the concept and execution of this worked. Now, if they were doing multiple seasons of this, I could see the show kind of waning in quality a little bit. But these 6 shorts, if you're going to do 6, that's fine. I think that's enough for these, you know, the animators, the directors, the writers. I think that's enough for them to cover. And animation-wise, this is very beautiful. It takes the animation that they're using now, and they apply it to the older stuff, specifically in the 5th episode with Ahsoka and the Clone Wars stuff. Seeing them in like the HD photorealistic is kind of weird, because you've seen them in like these very blocky states, like Anakin, Ahsoka, Obi-Wan, like in their early season attire, like in their early Clone Wars attire. It's really weird seeing them like that. So with that out of the way, where do I put this in my rankings then? Tales of the Jedi Season 1 goes above the first season of The Bad Batch and below the entirety of Rebels. This is a good place to put it, and if this show had bad episodes, I still would have placed it somewhat high up in the list, because the concept is really great, but the execution is where it matters, and the execution paid off wonderfully. These shorts are great. Honestly, you should go watch it. If you've seen the films, you've seen the shows, then these shorts are right up your alley. And I really enjoy these, that's why it's in the spot where it is. If you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'm gonna go now, so goodbye everyone.